Welcome to episode number 213 of the Marine Layer podcast. As Tucker, the Mariners dog, exits the frame, we're here in Peoria. We welcome on Mariners prospect Tai Peete, a fantastic sit-down conversation, our first sit-down conversation at spring training, talking about his time last year moving to the outfield, his love of bowling, and a whole lot more.
Here's your guys' reminder. This show is brought to you by our friends over at Pagac's Pub 85. You guys want to go have an awesome time with your friends, some great food. You want to play darts, you want to play pool, you want to watch some games. You can do all that over there. And if you show up during happy hour, drink specials are awesome. It's Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m., $3 and $4 drinks, you guys. Those deals are awesome. Go check them out. Go plan a good time with your friends. That's over at Pagac's Pub 85 in Kirkland. And here's your guys' reminder before we start the show. If you're listening to these podcasts, make sure you're downloading the episodes, rate and review 5 stars, like, comment, subscribe over on YouTube if you're watching the video side of the podcast. This podcast specifically, we really hope you're watching the video side on YouTube. It is worth it. Go check out our Patreon, brand new. We're going to incorporate a bunch of ideas to interact with you guys. We cannot wait, so go check that out. And then on social media, you can find us everywhere at Marine Layer Pod.
Let's get it rolling.
The pitch from Acevedo. A drive deep to right field. Down the line. The Mariners win this game 2-1. The dream lives. They're going to the playoffs. On one from Jansen. There you go. Left field. We got a tie ball game. Julio. Oh, baby, what a moment. Tie ball game at 7-7.
And we welcome you to this episode of the Marine Layer podcast, part of the Just Baseball Podcast Network, recording on Tuesday afternoon, February 26th.
Oh, you almost got it.
Is it the 26th?
No, well, you got the day wrong. It's actually Wednesday.
Well, damn. As people say, Lyle, it's like Groundhog Day here at the facility. Every day looks the same, so I really can't blame myself. Why did I get that date wrong? Well, this is the first time we're sitting not looking at a screen while recording this. It feels a little weird, I'm going to be honest. I sit there and I'm getting into that mode. I'm sitting there and thinking, I don't, what am I supposed to do here? I'm not looking at the date. My phone's over there. Yeah, so I can't do it.
We're very out of our element right now in the best of ways.
Would you look at this, dog? Is this not the coolest thing ever? So you should be, as Lyle said, you should be watching the YouTube for this because we're currently sitting on the patio of the Peoria Sports Complex on the Mariners side recording this. It's, 85 degrees out right now. It's sunny. I don't see a single cloud anywhere around here. The Mariners are playing their spring training game about 2 football fields away to our left. And we just sat down with Tai Peete and had an awesome conversation. I mean, this is the dream, man.
This is sick.
This is in about 2 years of the podcast, it's the fact that we're sitting here recording at the complex is it's pretty cool.
Live, everything.
Yeah.
Let's not waste people's time too much longer. Tai Peete, we talked about it the first time we ever had him on. Tai was the first player we ever had on the podcast. First one, it was shortly after he got drafted. We were blown away by how cool he was, how energetic he was, just as a kid that was drafted out of high school. Now we sit down with him about a year and a half later. He's going into his second spring training. I think this conversation blew the first one out of the water.
100%. It's just so much different when you get to sit down with these guys in person. It makes a world of difference. I had no idea Tai Peete liked bowling. He really likes bowling. You'll have to listen to the conversation to hear just how much he likes bowling. But it's think about Tai Peete as a prospect. We talked about Durangelo Sanger as perhaps the most interesting baseball prospect of all time. But when we get back to the normal curve of prospects, not the ones who throw with both hands, Tai Peete is up there when it comes to intrigue within this organization. To start off, he's young. Second of all, he came up as an infielder, as a shortstop, but now he's moved into center field. He said he really loves it. I think the org really likes him out there in center field. And it just opens up so many more opportunities for him in a system that has a lot of middle infielders. He now gets a chance to go out in center field and really show his physical traits and show that athleticism out there. And as we were mentioned with him and Johnny Farmello, they're best friends, and they're great friends. And they're now both play the same position in the same organization. It's got to be a really fun competition.
Really fun. And he talked about some of the guys he's gotten close with in the org. That's in there. Johnny's up there. He is one of his good friends, like he said. But I got to tell you, I think he was honestly made to play the outfield. Not to say he wasn't a good infielder. He was obviously drafted in the first round as an infielder. I think he's going to thrive out in the outfield. He's such a good athlete.
And it's going to give his bat so much better of a chance to grow. And I mean that because, again, infield, would have to fight, if he was going to stay at shortstop, to fight for reps so much harder at shortstop than he would in the outfield at this point, based on the traits that he has and how he looked at the end of last year and how he's playing this year in the outfield.
Right. I mean, and let's remind people, too, this organization has both Colt Emerson, who Ty raves about in this interview, at shortstop, and they have Felnine Celestine at shortstop.
And Cole Young.
And Cole Young,
Yeah.
who may be a second baseman, maybe a shortstop, we'll see.
Right.
Point being, like, we want to see Ty play. Ty wants to play. The fact he's moving to the outfield, I think this is going to be awesome for him. It gives him an opportunity to really, really pave his own path. And now, additionally, with, like you said, the way he played toward the end of the year last year, the way he's played in camp so far, all that stuff, I think this is going to be awesome for him. And I got to tell you, like, first 5 minutes of the interview were cool. It was kind of a catch-up, baseball talk, like, you know, what's working for you, how's the outfield treating you. My favorite parts of this conversation were probably the 20-ish minutes after we got through that stuff, because that's really, really when you see Tai Peete, the guy we love to rave about, and that personality show. I mean, it's so infectious. It really is.
We don't want to keep you guys any longer because that part was very well worth it. So let's get you to the interview with Tai Peete.
All right, we got Tai Peete here with us, our first sit-down interview, the first guest we ever had on that was a player. Now our first sit-down interview. Ty, thanks for hopping on. How are we?
I appreciate you guys for having me.
How is Arizona?
It's better. I'm telling you, the weather's better than Georgia. So it was freezing in Georgia. It's nice for a change. I like it out here more.
I wanted to share a first observation I had with you when we saw you the other day. I was trying to think of like an animal comparison to how in shape you are right now. Hear me out. If I say boa constrictor,
Okay.
does like match up what you feel like your physique is right now?
I mean, I grew up liking snakes, so I know a couple of snakes. I'd say it's a pretty good one.
Have you grown this past year?
I mean,
You look like you
my
have.
mom says I do, so I'll take her word for it. But
You do look bigger.
I've definitely gotten a couple pounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, has your routine changed at all this winter or anything like that?
Not much. Maybe just a little more intent behind everything. Like, now I know what I'm doing, and I kind of know like what I need to come back looking like, what I need to prepare for. So it's been easier.
Does intent mean spending more time here in Arizona?
I mean, by choice, maybe I had to be here, and I like being out here. So it's easier to work when you have guys around you. It's easier to work when guys know what they're talking about around you. So I say that helped me out around here. Yeah.
What was Tai Peete thinking, say, October of last year, as you had a whole season to digest?
Yeah, I mean, just long year. So I came from playing 22 games my senior year to now playing 115. So it's definitely an adjustment, but I feel like I did pretty well just adjusting to that many games, and it didn't really take a toll on me at all. Like, I wasn't tired, I wasn't exhausted, my body felt fine. So just being able to actually go through that many games, like, I'm ready for this year.
Is that through, like, I'm trying to think about, like, how you get adjusted for something like that. Because 22 games to 120 games, that's a big difference. Like, how do you get ready for that?
I love it. I love playing every day, so I don't really get tired of it. I think that's kind of what helps me the most. Like, not actually physically what I'm worried about. I'm worried about mentally if I can really play 130 games. But, I mean, I love it more and more every day. I'm a competitor, so I'll go out the next day thinking, all right, I remember what I did yesterday, so let me try to build off of that just brick by brick. So.
The big storyline with you last year is you moving to the outfield and center field specifically, and you're telling us yesterday you love it. I want to know what that first conversation was like when they asked you if you wanted to go play outfield. What was your reaction to that? What was processing through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, they told me about, I would say, close to the end of the year last year, just, hey, let's get some reps. Maybe let's just try it out. And I did, and I loved it. I mean, I trust my organization. So I think that's just the biggest thing in this is trusting the organization. And that's just the biggest thing is having trust in an organization and, knowing what they have for and plan for you and what they want best for you. So just being able to go out there and feel free. Like, I feel like I can use the most of my athleticism out there. I feel like I have some of that in my bag. So, I enjoyed it.
Well, had you ever played any outfield, like in high school, on the showcase, anything?
No.
Never?
No, I mean, I cover a lot of ground. That's
You're a
my
good
goal.
athlete.
Yeah, my goal is to cover about 100 yards left of me, 100 yards right of me. So, that's kind of my goal. Byron Buxton said, nothing out there falls but rain.
Do you guys know each other, you and Buxton?
No, I mean, we're from the same spot, but, like, I've never worked out with him. I got a couple of guys that I worked out with that work out with him, like Nico Gurun and a couple of my hitting coaches at home. But I mean, I would love to hit with him and stuff.
You got a good reason to call him now.
Right. Now I have I'm starting to play some outfield, but I've been talking to Mike Cameron a lot.
Oh.
He's been helping me a lot.
What are conversations with him like? He's a live wire.
Yeah. No, he's definitely funny. Just kind of the whole. He changed the whole conversation. Like makes it easier to talk to. But he's just kind of telling me small things like, you know, he'll be serious for a couple moments. Like, hey, you need to like for real lock in here. Or, like when you're playing the outfield, look at it from this perspective. But it's just easier because it's something I can hear easily. It's just being able to just talk back and forth.
What was it like the first time you ran out to center field? Does it feel big out there?
Nah,
Does it?
I got long legs and cover a lot of ground. Cover a lot of ground out there. Like, I really just run. Like seriously, I run, catch the ball, throw it in. Like it's amazing. It's like, and being able and knowing that my organization does trust me in that way to be able to take priority out there and actually show off some of the athleticism I have. It's great. It's a great feeling.
Have you watched some Julio tape this offseason?
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
Yeah. What'd you take away?
Robbing home runs.
Yeah.
Oh, that is like the coolest thing ever for me. So just being able to take some technique, seeing how his first step is, how his pre-step is, stuff like that.
All right, well, you've got personality. Obviously, he has personality. You talk about robbing home runs. Have you seen the one where he robs Tatis and he kind of fakes everybody out?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, did I rob it? Did I rob it? Oh, yeah, I
One of
robbed
these
it.
right here, one of these. Yeah, I think that's the funniest thing. Me and my dad were laughing about that because we were watching that. We were watching like the replay of it, and we thought it was so funny.
I feel like that's something I could see you doing.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be smiling. As soon as I catch the ball, I would be like, oh.
So you have a bad poker face.
No, I'm really good at poker. Very good at poker.
All right, but you're saying
my poker face, if I need to, I can cover it up. Sometimes I'm bad at it on purpose, so people are like, he's bad, but I'm a really good one.
all right, that
So
makes
when you're
sense.
like, you don't even know.
So, okay, poker specifically, you got a good poker face. But if you were to rob a big league home run, you don't think you could?
No chance.
You couldn't draw it.
I'd definitely let a little smile before anything.
Okay.
But that sounds like more of a first robbing home run thing. You're like, oh my God, I couldn't believe I got this. But then maybe you get 5.
Yeah, well then I know I got that at that point.
Oh, yeah, you got it in your bag.
Then
you got the practice down.
At that point, I'll just catch and throw it back in. It wasn't even that big of a deal.
Business as usual.
Yeah, it's just a catch, just a fly ball. Just had to jump for it.
Well, you'll have to see if you can catch Cammy. That dude robbed a lot of homers when he was in America.
That's so sick. That's the coolest thing. We had a practice the other day. Like we literally just robbed homers. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Just like standing at the fence.
I was just scaling walls. I was just running up the wall.
You and Johnny can have competitions now.
We always have competitions on everything.
Well, now you're out playing the same position.
Yeah. It'd be cool. It'd be cool going back and forth with him. It'd be cool like playing the whole field with him, just tracking down balls.
What's your favorite competition with him?
Poker.
Who wins?
Me, Johnny, me. Colt gets in there. Me, Johnny. But we just play cards all the time, man. We have competitions on everything.
Okay. You and Johnny are obviously friends. You've been friends since high school, and obviously he's working his way back from an injury right now. Both of you are in the outfield, like TJ was just mentioning. Is there any talk of like, hey, you better get back quick, or somebody's going to have to move to right field?
Yeah, no. I mean, John's strong, so like, I know he's a true competitor, and so he's gonna, as soon as he comes back, he's gonna come back hitting the ground hard. But I think just it's that easy with us, and like I can go to right, he can go to left, Lachi can go to right, I can go to center, he can go to center. So it's like we're gonna be moving around so much that I'm not gonna see any problem with us like colliding at all. Like we work really well together. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite road city you played in your first year?
I like Lake Elsinore.
Okay.
I just thought it was a cool spot. Like it was down by San Diego. It was down by San Diego. So me and Charlie, we went to the TaylorMade Kingdom. So that was cool. Like just a nice place down there.
Oh, golf.
Yeah, golf. TaylorMade,
Yeah,
the
gotcha.
Kingdom. Yeah, they sent it down in San Diego.
Right.
Yeah.
How'd your golf game grow this year?
I actually haven't been golfing at all.
Oh.
No, I haven't been golfing at all. I've been bowling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How's the bowling game?
I'm actually pretty decent. But
All right.
I had so I played with my dad back at home,
Uh-huh.
and all the time. But me, my dad, my little brother, my girlfriend, we get out there. But I mean, we play a lot. Like I bowled down there across the street in Bolero. I bowled my first yacht here. I brought one ball, and I bowled maybe 16 games first day. I bowled 11 the second day. I went like 4 days in a row. I bowled 12 plus games every day, and now like I know the guys up there and stuff. So
What was the high score?
245.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I actually bought a new ball like a week ago. First game, bowled 232. So
Wait,
I like that ball.
you actually bought your own bowling ball?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do people do that?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 6.
Huh.
I actually have 7, I gave one to my dad. I have 4 with me out here.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
we hear some things about what guys in the minors do. We hear chess. We now hear bowling.
That's my hobby,
We hear
yeah.
cards. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
that's my hobby.
like how many other bowlers are there in this org?
None. Mookie bets. That's about it.
Yeah,
Not in the
yeah,
org,
in the whole league.
Like I literally just know Mookie. Maybe Mike Harris has like a bowl. He's having a bowling a charity event back at home in December. But other than that, that's it. Like no one wants to go bowling with me.
Mookie bowls 300s, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
So
You're-
also,
I mean,
I'm
you're getting
also not
pretty
gonna
close.
Go up to Mookie and be like, hey, yo, you want to go bowling? Like,
I only cracked like 100 like a couple weeks
really?
ago.
Well,
So
I had a super bad game. I bowled a terrible. This is probably the worst I've ever bowled. But I brought Charlie with me. He bowled his best, and I bowled my worst. And he barely beat me, but he beat me fair and square. And now he's posted our scores in my locker. So he's gonna hold that over me forever. It's awful.
So for those who don't know, is this Charlie?
Pagliarini.
Pagliarini.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
second baseman in the org, infielder stuff.
That seems like a guy you've started to get close with,
That's
right?
like, yeah, he's like I would say he's my best friend, but
Wow.
I cannot stand him. He put up all the scores are in my locker. He won't go again either.
So how did bowling kind of start? Like, how'd you go from golf to bowling?
Oh, I've been bowling since I was like 4. So I've
Okay.
been bowling with my dad. That's what we did at home. You know, like during the winter time, we would go.
Okay.
And then this past off season, not this one, but the one before, we both bought balls. He's always bowled, but I bought a ball my first one, and then I just got hooked, and I ended up buying another one, and then I kind of got used to it, and then now I'm actually learning how to bowl well. So
I feel like if you like throw it out there in the whole clubhouse, get a league going. Because you guys
I
got some
would.
downtime here.
I would, but I mean those guys like golf.
Yeah.
Golf is so on top of like everything. Golf trumps literally everything that any hobby in that place. But I like to go, toss some headphones in. Like I watch The Office while I bowl.
Oh, really?
I listen to The Office while I'm bowling. So it's kind of like my what's it called?
Meditation?
Meditation.
Yeah. It's definitely a form of meditation.
For sure.
Let me ask you this. That's not distracting to watch The Office when you bowl? Like, you're about to go up to the line and you hear Michael Scott say, like,
Hilarious.
no, God!
Hilarious. I like sometimes I like people like watch me and my hair I would have my hair down so you can't see I have AirPods in, so I'm just like laughing in the lane and they're like, what is this wrong? What is this problem? And I'm like laughing, and then like they'll like come over tap me, I'll be like, and they're like, oh. And like after I bowl, every time I turn around and I'll start watching. And yeah, I find that so fun. That and Family Guy.
Oh,
I find Family Guy so funny.
okay. Favorite Office character, favorite Family Guy character?
Jim is my favorite Office character. I think his cutaways are the funniest. Him and Dwight. I think Jim making fun of Dwight is the funniest. My favorite Family Guy is Stewie, or Brian. Stewie and Brian.
You've got some similar dynamics, like the Stewie-Brian dynamic in Family Guy is kind of like
Dude.
Jim and Dwight in The Office.
Dude, Stewie and Brian. My girlfriend hates it. She hates watching it, but I just play it nonstop, and they are so funny to me. Like I watched it. No, I get it. They're so funny.
Do you have a favorite episode of each show?
Yeah, the one where in Family Guy is the one where Stewie had a baby. That one when Stewie and Brian had a baby because Brian like wasn't hanging out with Stewie that much because he was like he was like trying to bring him back and like bring him closer to him. That one was so funny. And then The Office, probably the one where he's running by the speedometer, the speed limit sign. That when the car passed him. That one or the basketball, like episode 3.
Basketball
season
one.
The basketball. The
Classic.
basketball was funny.
That's a
That
pretty
was funny.
classic one.
I don't know. The one I always go to for whatever reason, it's a little later, but the actual 2-episode saga of Jim and Pam's wedding when there's just chaos at the hotel.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they eventually we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're done with this. We're going on the Maid of the Mist down to Niagara Falls. Like, I can't take these people anymore.
I like the earlier stages when they weren't married, when she was still, her fiance was, what's his name?
Roy.
Yeah, the worker downstairs. He's funny to me too.
That's cool. So who do you say, you mentioned Johnny, you mentioned Charlie. Who are you still close with in the org at this point?
Really everybody. I mean, I'm still getting like Jack White, like even some of the pitchers. Ashton Izzy is still one of my close friends. So like being able to like be almost one as like a whole organization, be able to like get along with everybody is rare. So it's nice. It flows. The Mariners just flow.
Who's impressed you the most showing up here?
Impressed me the most. I mean, obviously Ryan Sloan. Like I faced him the other day. Just like bowling balls, just flying in the zone. Yeah, I think he's pretty electric. And then Hittering wise, I mean, Colt just still swinging like how he's swinging in these games, and the Lachi, the way he's ginormous, bigger than I last time saw him. So, he's just keep growing into the ball player he's gonna be. So.
What's it like to watch Cole? Because I know Mariner fans out there are really excited to watch this dude potentially be the #1 prospect in baseball, and they're excited to watch him at the big league level, like they're excited to watch you when you get up there.
Yeah, he's our big
like
leaguer.
what?
Right.
What are fans gonna see when they see Colt Emerson when you get to watch this dude?
Dude, he is a dog. Like, he's literally like we call him all the time. He's our big leaguer, and like that guy just is a baseball player. Like, you see him, you're like, yeah, he's a baseball player, and just the way he plays is unbelievable. He does things consistent to the point where like it looks like he's been doing this for a long, long time, and he has, and he's put in the work. So just being able to show it and produce how he produces is unbelievable.
Do you set goals for yourself for a year like this upcoming?
Yeah, I have a couple goals. I think my goals are more of like mentally, like staying more like here than rather than ups and downs, just kind of staying on the same path. I think that would be pretty nice to have, and like I don't really set like I need this amount of homers or this amount of stolen bases. Like it's more of like it's a feel thing. Maybe if anything like that, it's like percentage wise. Like I'm gonna get thrown out twice this year, 3 times this year. Anything less than last year, just kind of keep progressing.
How much was that mental up and down affecting you last year?
I mean, not crazy. Like, I felt it was fine. Like, maybe I had a few ups and downs, but towards the end of the year, I was just kind of cruising through. Like, it felt pretty well.
I mean, that's pretty normal for the first season, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have those ups and downs, so like what not to do.
Sure.
But it's also like so all right, these are my ups and these are my lows. So I need to get into somewhere in between that.
I got 2 final questions for you before we wrap this thing up. More on the lighter-hearted side. Last year around this time when we ran into you down at the backfields, we kind of gave you a question. It was on the funny side. We're like, if you were to play in a JV
team, yeah.
You said you'd hit 52 homers.
Yeah.
Could you hit 60 now?
I probably hit 53.
So your power actually hasn't gone up then that much.
No, now that I know that, hold on, let me think. JV, JV Fields is like, what is it like 2? Yeah, I mean, come on, like.
Well, JV.
How many games am I playing?
JV Field, what is it, 280 down the line ish?
280 what? Down the line?
For JV Field?
Oh, yeah,
No, JV guys play on the same field as the varsity guys.
Yeah.
But my high school was like,
depends
my
on the
high
high
school was
school.
290, like 310 down the line.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't make the fields. These guys are like, every time I hit homer, they're like, bro, your field's small. I didn't make the field. Like,
Yeah.
why are you yelling at me? Like,
I'm also going to guess when you were hitting homers, they weren't exactly wall
they were
scrapers.
down the line. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's everyone would be like, especially, I found them funny in the comments. They'd be like, oh, like, his field's 310. And then someone's like, bro, if he's walking out the box, he didn't wall scrape a ball. Like,
You know what? I actually want to follow up with something like that. We weren't ever really around to see a really, really hyped up high school prospect who was going to go high in the draft play in a game where everybody knew who he was. And I'm guessing people knew who you were when you would come to town, at least a little bit when you would play games. Was that a thing? Like, would fans kind of show up and chirp knowing who you are a little bit?
Bro, I'd had teams. Like, teams would show up in the same region.
Huh.
And, like, I remember it was my, like, sophomore year, too. And I had, like, 3-4 teams behind me just, like, going at, like, it was nonstop. And then I hit a homer. And my mom always yells at me for this. But I hit a homer dead center. And probably one of the hardest balls I've ever hit. And I don't even think the ball got off my bat. I was turned around, fully turned around, like pointing all of them, fully turned around. And the team that I hit it against were like, what is he doing? Like, I thought he was going to say something to us. I didn't say I didn't have a problem with that team. I had a problem with the people like yelling in my ear the whole game. Yeah, they left after that.
So you could relate to that clip of 2 years ago, I think,
Drew?
that Drew Jones had?
Yeah.
Dude's chirping at him right behind the plate. Boom.
Bro, I have the
Long
video.
gone.
Y'all want to see the video? Bro,
What's
I have
that?
the video. Oh, I gotta find it.
Are
Yeah,
you
my
in?
mom
Are
hates
you
it.
in? Are you and Drew Jones friends?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's check this out.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I tell you, my mom hates this video. She hates this video. She like
So-
so back in like high school, I would like post my stuff on Instagram. Or whatever. She wouldn't let me post this video. I'm so serious because she's like college teens are gonna like that. But then like
So-
I appreciate my mom.
Let me ask you this: if you were to send us this video and we put it into the podcast, would your mom be mad?
Nah, she wouldn't be mad now
Okay.
because I already got drafted.
Let's check this out. Oh, you?
The whole time. They were right behind me, bro. I'm telling you, that was the most frustrated I've never been that frustrated into a team before. Look at this. It was a nuke too. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a nuke. How do I turn my volume up? Oh, there we go. Look at this.
Hear the metal bat. Oh, you knew it.
The whole time, And then I ran around. This is how you know I was fed up. I was still thinking about them the whole time. Non-stop,
Oh,
bro.
you let you let him
I let
know.
him hear it, man. I let him hear it. And then my mom was like, let your bat do the talking.
Genuinely, I mean, this is just coming from us. We love energy in baseball, and I know you do too. Don't ever let that go because I think it's so cool.
Yeah,
I think it's so cool.
But now I like hearing chirps. I think it's fun. For me, how I look at it is that these guys really are like chirping me just to play the game. Like, I think that's cool. Like they are using their energy to like talk to me. Like, that's cool.
In the podcast world, or I guess in the social media world, we call that rent free.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You live rent free in their head.
Seriously, like I think that's cool. Like
When did it stop getting to you? has it?
Probably after that.
Okay.
Like, yeah. After that, I was like, bro, what are they gonna do? Like I'm on the field. They're not like.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Like obviously fans. I love like fans being at the game. That's my favorite part of the game. Is, like, people enjoy watching me play, or people enjoy watching me play. But like the guys that come out, they just chirp and they hate. Like I think it's cool. Like these guys like the way I play, obviously. So obviously they're gonna say something. I enjoy it.
They clearly respect you. Like
Right.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have shown up.
Right, and also it gives me a motive. It gives me more motive. Like it gives me more energy. It lights me up. I think it's cool.
Last one I got for you. And it segues perfect because we're on the topic about chirping and kind of letting fans know what's up. You also let your own younger brother know what's up. The last time we talked to you, I'd never seen this video. You're playing wiffle ball in the backyard, I want to say, and you hit what looked like an absolute wiffle ball bomb, and you kind of let him know, and your brother goes, who's like, I don't know, 8, 10 years old, he's like, I'm done.
Wiffle ball with my 8-year-old brother.
Oh my gosh! Nothing like a little. Woo!
Bro, you should have seen the 40 other bombs I let up on before that video. He's never beat me in anything. He actually beat me. No, he did. He beat me in one thing the other day. It was recently. And I was actually trying. And it was like, man, he's growing up. So now I had to like go up to him and just shove him to the ground. Make sure it doesn't get to his head. I don't remember what it was. I try to forget my losses. I don't remember what it was, but he beat me. And I told my dad, I was like, bro, he beat me. Like, seriously. But yeah, that video was like, I don't really know, because that was like the first time I ever like recorded us playing, because we do that every day. And we had a picnic table as our strike zone, so we would go out there. I bought some spray paint, and that was right after we came back from the range. So we were at the driving range, came back. He was like, let's play wiffle ball. I was like, all right. So we're playing. He hit a bomb. I hit a bomb. Then I hit a nuke. And I was like, oh, Elijah, let's record. So I had like a cage up. I put my phone on the cage. Swear, next pitch. Like I go deep, and then I'm running into the box, and as I'm pointing, because I was like down the line, and that's because I just hit a homer. I was like, Elijah, that was down the line, and that's when it started. And he pitched, and that might have been the hardest ball I've ever hit in my life. That ball was hit so hard. If you look closely, I didn't even know where the ball went. I hit it, and I was looking around. I was like, where did that go? And then I caught it at the last second, cleared the trees, and I was like, oh. Like, that was a genuine reaction. Like, we honestly forgot the cameras were on, and then I remembered, like, as I was running, I was like, I got that on camera. Like, Elijah, but I took out the last pitch. I should have posted it. He drilled me next pitch, right in, like, back of the arm.
Well, I was going to say, you're toughing him up as a younger brother.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's toughing you up for the big leagues. Maybe
I knew I was toughing him up when his friends came over, and he let them have it. And I was like, yeah. Like, his friends are tired. Like, every time they play competition, like, they're doing 1v1 basketball or something. He's a basketball player now. So they're doing 1v1. Like, dude, he lets them have it. Like, I love it. But then every time he plays me, he's scared again. But I let him eat. I don't think he's ever beat me. Ping pong? That's what it was. It was ping pong. He beat me ping pong, yeah. He's like 180 and 1.
I was going to say
I'm 181.
the sound off that wiffle ball bat. We'll put the video in for people.
It sounded like a gun, dude.
It sounded like you killed a bird.
It sounded like a balloon pop.
Yeah.
And I remember, because and it was funny. So that whole day, I remember like it was yesterday. That's the first viral video maybe. I don't remember. But all I remember is that I had the video, and I was like, oh, Elijah. I was like, dude, you just got a bomb hit off of you. Like, I'm posting that. So I'm like, this is when TikTok is starting to get. So I was like, Elijah, I'll post this on TikTok. Posted on TikTok. Like, I spent no time editing the video. I went out and recorded how far it landed, because it was pretty far. And so I came back. I remember, like, wiffle ball with my 8-year-old little brother, because he was 8 at the time, so it was like 3 years ago maybe. So I was like wiffle ball with my 8-year-old little brother. I posted it. I put my phone up in my room, came back out, finished playing. It got dark. We went back in. Bro, my phone was blowing up. And I was like, oh my, I was like, Elijah, come here. Blowing up. We clicked on it, had 1 million views in like an hour. I was like, what? I was like, 1 million people just saw you get a bomb hit on you. And he ran up to me. He's like, Dad. He was like, Ty posted the video. And he was like, I know, I saw. That was the funny part. He's like, the whole world saw you get a bomb hit on you. So then he's like, let's go again. I was like, nah, I'm done. And then we played. Yeah, that was funny though. Like I couldn't believe it. There was so many people saw that video, and I thought it was the funniest thing because he was like, I was like, Elijah, 1 million people just saw you hit a bomb hit off you.
I will say, for anybody wondering, I think you're a good big brother. Just to end this, I remember the other video the Mariners posted, which is I think you surprised your brother one Thanksgiving or Christmas, and he didn't know you were coming home, and he was all fired up to see you.
I never tell him when I'm coming home. I just show up.
That's
so
fun.
like this past year, I just picked him up from school.
Oh.
And when he had no idea, and like he heard my car coming, and he was like, so he ran to my car. Like I like doing that. That's my favorite part, just seeing him when I come home. But now my parents got him an iPad for Christmas. A horrible decision. He calls me every day, every single day. And usually when he calls me, he's playing video games. I'll answer like, "What's up, man?" He'll put me up on his PlayStation and just leave me there. I'm like, bro. I'm like, Elijah, hello. He's like, hold on, Ty. What? You called me. And so now I'm like sitting there on his PlayStation watching him play video games. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching you play video games. He'll be like, no, don't hang up. And I'll be like, all right. He'll be like, and get right back to playing. I'm like, all right, I'm hanging up. But yeah,
he misses you.
Calls me, texts me every day. He calls my girlfriend now. Texts her every day.
That's cool.
She's like, hi, Elijah. He's like, what are you doing? That's all he does. It's funny though. Like he's one of my best friends. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Ty, you're the man. We always love sitting down and talking with you. I know Mariners fans are rooting for you. We're certainly rooting for you, and all the best success to you this upcoming year.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys for having me. Seriously, this is fun.
Well, Tai Peete was awesome, like we talked about. Pretty plain and simple.
He is, as personalities go, he opens up a lot, and he gives a lot of really, really good information I think just the general fan wouldn't know about, which is great. The bowling, the wiffle ball, it's phenomenal. It's just, he's a family guy. He loves his brother. It's awesome stuff.
I hope he never loses that all the way through the big leagues. Obviously, some guys grow out of that stuff once they do more and more interviews and, things kind of change for them. Time goes on in their career. I really, really hope Ty never loses that energy, that just the infectious smile, everything, because it's such a part of who he is, and I think it's a reason Mariners fans are going to love this guy for as long as he's here.
So this is our final podcast here from spring training. This will come out a few days after we're recording this, but if we're thinking about this week, any more observations you have?
Yeah, so we're recording this on Wednesday. You guys will hear this on Friday. Any more observations either from the last couple days or things we want to see in the final couple days before we leave? I would say we talked about the Munoz changeup plenty. I would say, look, we just came over from watching a couple of bats from Colt Emerson and Lazaro Montes in the big league game. I think it's just more of that, just seeing a bunch of the young guys in big league camp, getting the chances. Obviously, those guys are not going to start the year on the big league roster, really anywhere close to it. We assume both Colt and Laz will be somewhere between high A and double A throughout most of the year. But just to see them around it, it's like these guys are getting closer and closer as time goes on.
They are, and to add on another young guy to that group, I will feel a lot better if we leave here Saturday and Cole Young is participating on the field. I don't know if he's going to get back onto the field at that point, but that would make me feel a lot better based on where the depth of this infield is right now and what they're expecting from Cole Young this year. They are expecting big things from Cole Young probably in the second half of this year to be a top prospect that he is and really contribute to the success of this baseball team and to this franchise. I mean, I think that would be really exciting. And I hope we just don't see anyone get hurt the next handful of days while we're here.
I think that's the most important thing. I'd say the other thing to note is Jorge Polanco's now out and taking reps at third base, which is good. I know people were asking about that a little bit. Seems like he's working his way back. That's a great sign.
And shout out to our guy Logan Evans. He was throwing a pen today on Wednesday, and holy smokes, he looked good. He was up to 97. He's like, I'm never up to 97 at this point, but man, I was feeling really good.
Well, you guys may have to hear about that because we don't want to make any promises, we may do another sit-down interview this week with said pitcher, with our guy Logan Evans. So we'll keep you tuned on that. We certainly hope to talk to him. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be in the big leagues at some point this
he
year,
will.
right?
Yeah, he will. They're going to need more starters this year. They're not making it through the entire season starting only 7 guys. It's almost impossible to do that again.
Right.
So that leads the math leads out that Logan Evans will almost certainly start a big league game this year. When it is, not sure. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. We're rooting for him. We're certainly rooting for Ty. We always appreciate all of you guys tuning in. So with that, that just about wraps up this edition of the Marine Layer Podcast. You guys know the drill. If you want to listen to the full form podcast, you can do so wherever you get your audio pods. Make sure to download. Make sure to rate and review 5 stars. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe over on YouTube. You guys see the subscribe button. Come on. We're all the way out here in Peoria. We flew all the way down here. We're doing all this stuff, and we're not complaining about it at all because it's basically a vacation for us. But hey, do us a favor since we're down here, or while we're down here. Just hit that subscribe button. It really does help. Anyway, go check out our Patreon. Follow us everywhere across social media at Marine Layer Pod. That's TJ. I'm Lyle. As always, once again, we thank you guys for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon.